Hello, everybody. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to try adding Melissa. Hi.
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 How are you?
Oh, good. Like, ready to pop.
You're towards the end.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like this is like the perfect time to do a meditation too,
Yes, yeah.
right?
I love meditation, so I'm like so excited.
I know. I'm so excited that you're having me do this with you, and it's such an honor, and especially I think it's like being pregnant. It's just such a sensitive time. I mean, I don't know about your pregnancy, but for me, it was like I was so sensitive, and
I
up
mean,
to the end,
I'm
you're like.
up in the middle of the night now. It's like as it's getting closer, I'm up from like 2 to 4, and you get anxious because you're like, oh my God, it's getting so close. And so it just, I feel especially like I haven't had any anxiety throughout the whole pregnancy, but I'm just starting to be like, oh my God, the anticipation of it. So
Right.
nice to meditate to like ground. And when you were just talking on Insta story today, I was like, I need all of that.
Oh, I'm so glad. So you meditate regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I know I've contributed some pieces for Frenshe and it's so nice. Like I just love when people talk about this because I like it's changed my entire life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's honestly, it's what helped me with, when I struggled really bad with anxiety.
Hmm.
It was the only thing that really helped me. And it was so funny because I think the approach sometimes, like I remember going to hot yoga, like core power,
Yeah.
probably like 6 years ago, and then meditate, like just the, like the when the calm down and like they have you meditate at the end, the 5 minutes, I was like, I don't think I'll ever last 5 minutes. Like I could not even fathom meditating for 5 minutes. Like 30. Just like
Wow.
so crazy when you practice something and it really you see the benefits of it. You're just like, this is amazing. This is so great. And I feel it just always helps me in like times of need. And I love how there's like apps now that you can have where you just need like a little reset if you're going into a meeting and you're nervous or,
Yes.
love all of that stuff.
Oh my God. I mean, it's like I don't go into almost like anything I do. I have to do something, like something
Yeah.
grounding before, like even before this, just like a moment to collect yourself. Because I think in the world that we live in, we're so used to just like waking up, going about like, what do we have to do today? What do we have to accomplish? And you're just like giving, 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 giving. And we don't give ourselves this space to give to us and to recharge and to recenter ourselves
Yeah.
before we hit the ground running. I've been saying a lot before guiding my flows is like, let's just ground together before we go because we're not really taught that, and I think it's such a beautiful practice to be able to, bring into our children's like my kids know they're like, oh, you're meditating, or like they know when I haven't meditated. They're like, mommy hasn't meditated yet.
Meditators. It's so funny because like I'll be like, okay, I meditate, I wake up earlier, so I'll meditate, and then he'll do his meditation. But it's just really so helpful. I mean, I feel like you said, there are days obviously where I wake up with that kind of energy where I'm like, I gotta go, or I'm like shooting something and I'm like, I really have no time to do it, but I will always find time, whether it's at lunch or a little bit of like a 5 minute. It just is nice to, if I don't meditate for a day, I feel it the next day. I can
I do.
feel that anxiety, like kind of energy coming back. So it's just
Same.
nice to, yeah, just be able to, ground yourself in each moment and prepare yourself for whatever you need help on.
It's so true. And even like I know for myself, like before I had kids, I used to say like I don't do anything until I meditate. And now it's like it's laughable, Like today I didn't meditate until 11 a.m. and I've been up since 5:30. So it's like that's like a whole day, going without
Yeah.
meditating. But it's so nice to have a relaxed approach to it, because
Yeah.
I think that's where, like, anyone who's with us today that's new to meditation, I think the more that you can just like be gentle and easy on yourself with this practice and judge yourself and your practice less, like you'll start to really feel the benefits. I know for me, it's like I so quickly want to react to everything, and then if I meditate, like it gives me that, like, just wait a second. Like,
Yeah.
don't say anything just yet. You know, everything can shift the second that you bring yourself back to like who you really are, you
Yeah.
know?
So true. It's so, yeah, it's like taking the reaction out of what you normally, because I am, well, back, especially when I don't meditate or, before I did meditation, I was very reactionary, which caused so much anxiety in me. And it's nice to kind of, I mean, my whole thing right now is like surrendering to the
Yeah.
moment. And when I do that, I just feel like it really, it takes all of that out of it, just
Yeah.
really kind of when something you think is kind of, not going right, or, you feel like you need to get something done and it's not happening. And right now for me, it's the baby's room is not really complete yet. And it's just like,
Okay.
but I'm just like, surrender to that feeling
Yeah.
and let it go. And it just takes all the drama of what you can normally spiral, and it
Oh,
just
yeah.
really to kind of stay in the moment versus be like 10 steps ahead.
Oh, yes. It's so beautiful to hear. And it like gives me chills because I am the most reactive. Like my natural state is reactive, edgy, anxious, like all of the things. So, and it's funny too because that's still there. Still lives
Yeah.
right within there. And when I don't do my practice, that's my reminder. It's like this is a never ending work. Like we commit
Yeah.
to ourselves, we show up for ourselves daily because it changes the trajectory for our entire day and the way that we move through everything that we do.
I
And
know.
that's
That's I think the misconception of dealing with your anxiety. I feel like people are like, "Oh my God, and how do you get rid of it?" It's like, well, you don't really get rid of it. You just like first of all, you don't want to get rid of anxiety because there is that adrenal when there is something
to
that you
serve you.
out of, it's supposed to serve you. And I think that is just like it's really just practicing and meditating and realizing how to just deal with it in a different way. And I
Right.
think that like I've never gotten rid of my anxiety, but I have learned to deal with it, and it's not as heightened and a lot, because of
Right.
that.
Yep.
And over
New coping mechanisms and like reaching for tools that actually serve you instead of like putting on a band-aid or just like running to grab a drink or whatever it is where you think
yeah.
in the moment it's, that's what you need, but it always comes back tenfold. So I love that. That's so true because I share all the time that I'm really anxious and people are like, yeah, but don't you like you do all this stuff and you do, and I'm like, yes, but that's why I do it because it doesn't just, I mean, it lessens it and it can bring it down, but like I still have anxiety, like a good amount of
Yeah.
it. So that's
Yeah.
that we're going to embrace it all. That's really what I want today's practice to be about is just being with what is, just like welcoming it all. And I think that's when things really change. It's in the surrender, living in that state of surrender. Do you use any essential oils or anything for your practice? Do you use anything to get you there?
I actually haven't. Like, I mean,
Okay.
I really I love essential oils, but when I
Mhm.
go to meditate, it's usually I try to find a place where I'm at in that moment, so I don't really have anything on me. But
Okay. Oh,
like, what
that's
do you use?
great. I find like for myself because I think people assume like I meditate and I share my workouts and I'm just like every minute of the day want to like meditate and work out and it's really not the truth. It's not the truth. I have to almost have this like mental conversation with myself like that this is what you need, but I'm going to tell myself everything in the book for me to avoid getting myself to actually do the work. And I find this this essential roller. This one helps reduce stress, anxiety. It's a CBD relief from Highline Wellness. I love this one because The second I like roll it on my hands and take it in, it's like, okay, it just gives me that like we're here right now. Like this is, it helps me settle into it.
I love there's a stress release by Sage, and
Love that one too.
love that because when I am feeling stressed or anxious, I obviously do that and it calms me down, but I've never thought about doing it before meditation. So that's awesome.
I have a sage diffuser that I use and I put that on. I use the sunshine one as well when I'm filming. Yeah. Listen, I like try everything on and anything that works stays. And I find that this is really just a nice thing to just like rub into your palms, breathe it in, and then it's like it gets us there. So shall we? Shall we go
Yes.
right into
I want to
something?
make
Yeah.
airplane mode is on.
Yes. Okay, good.
You guys?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, good. I know I touched, I was like, oh God,
Yes.
why did I do that? I do that as well. I
Oh,
had to
oh
make
no,
sure.
what just happened?
I know. I was like, oh, this is going so well. The life of lives,
Yes.
right? It's like these really spike anxiety no matter what.
I know.
Okay,
Cool.
so you're in a comfortable seated position. Are you on the floor?
Yeah.
Are you in a chair?
I'm on the floor.
Okay, perfect. So if you can sit in a chair, I actually do love a chair
I actually
to just rest the small of my back. But if you're comfortable just on the floor, even a little, yes, it helps. It helps settle the sit bones and your knees can drop a little comfortably to the sides. I'm all about comfort here. So, you know, I mean, listen, I meditate on park benches and Ubers anywhere, literally airplanes. But if you can find a grounding place, like you said, you find like a nice, it brings you there. It's like prepping yourself for your practice. So I love to take my palms in my lap with my palms facing up. And this is really just to allow ourselves to receive this energy, this beautiful energy that we're going to create here together. And let's all close our eyes and gently come back to your breath. Take an inhale through your nose, fill yourself up. And on your exhale, with a long, easy exhale, let it all go. Letting everything go that came before this moment and everything that's to come after this. Just allowing yourself to be right here, right now, in this present moment with yourself and with your breath. Take a big inhale through your nose now, fill yourself up. And when you feel full, just hold that breath at the top for one more beat. And then just let it go. Let everything surrender out of you. And then just coming back to a nice normal breathing pattern. Taking a scan through your body. On every exhale, see if you can just drop your shoulders further down your back. And sit up just a little taller in your spine. And then melt right there into that space. Feel your sit bones heavy on the surface beneath you. And just let your knees drop open to the side. And seeing how, even in these first few moments together, how taking this time to come back to your breath, how it immediately brings this sense of stillness over your mind and through your body. And try to just keep settling in just a little deeper with every exhale. And coming back to that breath. Focusing on that inhale through your nose, fill yourself up. And then watch that exhale fully leave your body. And now as thoughts come up, as they will, I welcome you to just simply observe them with this gentle acceptance. Just allowing exactly how you feel, exactly what's running through your mind to be as it is. And then take that moment to shift your focus and your conscious attention to your breath. So just as we watch clouds in the sky pass us by, I want you to think of your thoughts as these clouds, as they come and they go. And then take that moment to come back to this grounding force in our lives that is available to us at all times. All we have to do is choose. Choose to come back to our breath. Focus fully on that breath. Take a big inhale through your nose. Fill yourself up. And just a long, easy exhale. Fully letting it go. Breathing in this space that you feel right here, right now. And now just taking these next few moments here together in silence and just practicing coming back to your breath with yourself. So as your thoughts come and they go, just allow them to be right where they are with no push or force attached. Just keep coming back to that breath. And we'll be back here together in just a few moments. Just slowly starting to deepen that breath. breathing in this grounding, centered energy that we feel when we allow ourselves this space to be, this space to breathe, and this space to connect with the core of who we really are. And just gently taking your hands into prayer at your heart with your eyes still closed, with just a gentle bow towards your prayer. And breathe in that ease, this beautiful and graceful sense of ease that moves through us when we show up for our practice, for this space with ourselves. Regardless what comes up, as we move through everything that tries to stand in our way to get here, those reactive thoughts, our to-do lists, when we keep coming back to this space is when you'll really feel this lasting shift and this transformation that moves through every part of your being and with every single thing in your life and everything that you do. So take one more moment here with yourself. Breathe in exactly how you feel. Honor this space, this peaceful, easeful energy, and allow it to move through you with everything that you do. Namaste. How do you feel? I know, you can breathe deeper, right?
You what?
You can just breathe deeper. It's like we forget to breathe.
Especially when you're in the third trimester and you can hardly breathe.
This is true.
It feels nice to breathe.
No, it's a challenge. You have to remind yourself to, like, you know, when you're living here, it's like, wait, just just let it go.
It's so true. I always feel like I love massages, but I feel like meditation is a massage for your brain. It's just
It is.
like
I love that.
really,
It is.
it's so good. You're so good at it. You're so good.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. You know, it was like intuitively guided towards, I mean, really this practice, everything that I share was really, I was in a place with myself where I needed to find a way out, you know, and I think the only way out is through, and to really move through it and to see what worked for me. And then, you know, to be able to share this in the way that I'm able to now is, you know, it's such a gift. And I'm so grateful to be able to even just be here with you right now and share it as I do daily, because it's changed my entire life. Like, I'm a completely different person. Like, I was not this person.
Okay. No, and thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I'm such a huge fan of yours. I obviously like cannot wait to work out again after the baby. Your subscription, but even just like everything from, you know, nutrition and all of that. I just am such a huge fan of yours. So thank you so much.
I mean, I'm such a huge fan of yours, so that I'm so flattered that you connect to things that I share. It makes me feel so
Well,
good.
it's like I love also, it's just like you have such kind of, sometimes we think about like working out where we have to set a time and like set a space, and I love that, especially like a bunch of your followers will just be like at the airport or something and like just so it's like that's so true. It's like you can still do squats if you're somewhere and like, you know, and
Yes.
I think it's just really you know, approachable, and I love it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. I mean, motherhood changed it for me. It was like after I had my son, I was like, how am I going to work out for an hour to 2 hours a day? I mean, I had a completely different mindset then. And then once I really, like, I started to be more gentle and easeful with my practice was when I was like, oh wait, I don't have to kill myself anymore. Like this is kind of, I like this. Like I actually enjoy doing this. And
Yeah.
I think that's what keeps you coming back, where it's like, I can do 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
It's like we can
It's
find even 10 minutes to
it's
keep it
so
consistent.
true. I feel like there's a misconception sometimes. Like obviously back in the day I used to do like circuit training and
Yeah.
um CrossFit, like when I was doing a cheerleading show, and it's very aggressive on your body. And I didn't realize that I was, I think that sometimes when you're really that hard on your body, there can be underlying things that happen. Like I was like borderline thyroid at one point, and I just feel like it's because that stuff wasn't serving me. It was like yes, you can work out, yes, you can lean out, but you don't have to be so aggressive with it. You can still
No.
do Pilates or just like easy 20-minute workouts. And
Yeah.
like I just feel like my approach to working out changed over a couple years ago, where I was just like, I got to stop like beating my body up. It's
Oh,
like,
it makes me so happy to hear like someone like you saying this, because I mean, I know this to be true. I was the same. I was so aggressive with everything, with eating, with, it was like I just had an aggressive approach to everything. And then it was affecting my mind. I was so entirely anxious on a whole new level. And then once I connected to more like, first of all, I had learned how to use my body, how to connect to what I was doing. So yoga and Pilates, it helped me tap into myself. Like,
yeah,
and then it's enjoyable and you see results
no,
and it's like, oh, it makes me so happy to hear you say that. Just because I think it's so important that people know that there's another way.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think that it's just so, like you said, even with diet and everything, I think that it's very much, I mean, here I am like fully pregnant,
No,
but
it's
I
great.
had a lot of food sensitivities at one point, and it was because it was how I mentally would look at food. Like,
Yeah.
I'd been trained for so long by nutritionists or trainers when I'm doing a project or a film, oh, carbs are bad. So then suddenly I'm like, have a gluten allergy. And I'm like, where are these allergies coming from? And it's
It's so
like
true.
looking at like it's bad, it's bad. And then when you start to kind of be more gentle and you're like, it's okay if I have that. And then suddenly I'm like not sensitive towards it anymore,
Oh
So
my
it's like
God.
essence so different.
You're
Like so
literally giving me I'm like so there with everything. It's true. Like what you
yeah,
believe is what and affects every part of your being.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you're
Exactly.
such a wise, beautiful soul, and I'm
Oh,
so happy that you asked me to be here. You're so inspirational, and it just makes me so happy, like hearing,
oh,
and that you're so connected to yourself in this work and sharing this way of life. You're
thank you so much. We'll
inspiring
have to
so many.
back up and running.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. I wish you an easeful rest of your pregnancy, and that's being a mama is the best thing in the whole wide world.
I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much again,
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
talk soon.
Okay, yes. Bye, Ashley. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.